Hello friends, welcome back to our little coffee club. I'm so happy to be here with you guys again. Hopefully I can keep you company here for the next hour or so. You know my videos are super long. And I hope you guys brew something tasty here with me to join me on this journey here of Hawaiian coffee. So you guys know after my trip to the Bay Area, I came back with a lot of coffee. Most of them were medium to light roast. So I had quite a bit of coffee to go through as far as usually my morning routine pour overs. Mainly I make filtered coffee and I always like something lighter to play with. So for espresso, a lot of times I do like to go with the darker roast. For my milk-based drinks, it's a lot of fun to mix with milk. It's very tasty. As far as dark roast, I still have quite a bit. I'm still trying to go through that, the very last of the Lavazza. I'm just a little bit left. And you know what? Something I want to mention. You know how I always report back. You know, once I tried the Lavazza on the mocha pot, it kind of grew on me. I've made it a bunch of times on the mocha pot, and I have found it to be quite a bit tasty. It is fun, quick, easy to use the mocha pot. And you know, I went back to that brewing method often, just to kind of go through that Lavazza coffee whenever I wanted something more like espresso, but kind of fast and not have to worry about, you know, cleaning the machine after and all that stuff. You know, the mocha pot is a really good option. And you can also make milk-based drinks with coffee from the mocha pot. At least for me, it's okay. I like it. So yeah, I wanted to mention that I made quite a few of that Lavazza on the mocha pot, and you guys were right. It is tasty. So, all right, but all of my lighter roast coffees, pretty much they're all gone. You know, ever since our trip to Seattle, I brought back that cow coffee from the Starbucks Reserve in Seattle, Washington. And it was so sweet and just like such a delicious coffee. I really enjoyed it. And I always wanted, ever since then, I wanted to kind of revisit the whole Hawaiian experience and get some more coffee from Hawaii. So we have 3 of them here. We have 3 coffees here from 3 different regions of Hawaii. One of them is from Kona. We have also another coffee from Kau and one from Maui. So this coffee comes from Big Island Roasters in Hawaii. They have a farm that they operate and a roaster. So they roast coffees for local farms all throughout Hawaii. And when you order from them, you get to try different things. So it's pretty wonderful. I believe these will be medium roast coffees is what I'm expecting. We'll see once we open the bags. Today, I really want to try that Kona and so just get started with the Kona. I don't think I've ever had Kona. Other than the one at Disney. You guys saw that experience. But other than that experience, I don't remember ever trying like really 100% Kona, because most of the Kona that you find out there is not gonna be the real deal. It's some kind of diluted form of it. But this is from the island itself, and this coffee is direct from Hawaii, 100% Kona. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun to try all these coffees from Big Island Roasters. Can't wait. Today we're gonna have the Kona. We're gonna make a pour over and an espresso. I think it's been a while since we've done both on the channel. Usually, lately we've just been doing a whole bunch of espresso. But you know, today we're gonna go ahead and try to brew both methods. I also wanted to mention, you know, by the time he sees this video, we had this little conversation below in the comments already like 5-6 weeks ago, because I'm really ahead of my game now on the videos. You know, once we can do the lives, I promise you guys that we'll interact right on the spot to what's going on right at that moment. We'll do some live videos. You know, my end goal is to maybe be able to do 2 videos a week, my edited video on Sundays and also a live video sometime throughout the week. And that'll be kind of fun to be able to interact in the spot, right? For now, you know, it is what it is. We kind of have this kind of delayed reactions going on, right? So yeah, the Vert Term left me a message in regards to, you know, the brewing temperature. And I was like, you know, funny you mentioned that. You know, I just recorded a video talking about that. By the time that you guys see this video, you've seen all that other stuff that happened. So you guys saw that pretty much like everything I was brewing on the Bianca, it was kind of lighter roast coffees. So that Slayer shot, the long pre-infusion period, the long extractions, all of that benefits those kind of coffees. And I really enjoyed brewing them like that. But as soon as I started getting into those darker roasts, which it started with the whole bottomless portafilter video, you guys saw my little struggles with the darker roast. Because, you know, on the Breville, I never really had to adjust temperatures. I just brewed the coffee at whatever, you know, the machine came set from factory. I never even got into the whole temperature settings. And on the Breville, you can't really adjust the temperature that much. It's like, I think 5-6 degrees at most, up or down. I think that's what it is. On the Bianca, you have way more control, okay? And you guys have seen me now do that, what I'm calling temperature profiling, okay, with that brew temperature offset setting from last video. Oh, and you know, I wanted to mention, as far as last video, I'm gonna include it right here. I'm gonna show you guys that shot in full screen, and let me know if you guys see any channeling whatsoever. When it starts to build pressure, I'm gonna try to hold it around 2.5 bar. For 30 seconds, or until I have about 2 grams in the cup, whatever comes first. It is dripping. Okay, I'm at 2 grams in 30 seconds, so that worked out perfectly. Now we do the ramp up. I didn't overshoot the 9 today. I usually overshoot. Okay, right there, I'm right at 9 bar. We're gonna try to get 45 grams of espresso coming out. Again, it doesn't look as pretty as the dark roast, that's for sure. Look at the previous video if you wanna see a pretty shot. Okay, we're close. Okay, 44.3, so just under 45. Again, from first drip is 40 seconds. Total shot time, 60 seconds, a minute. So wow, this is picture perfect. So when I put that video together, I looked at that extraction, and to me it seemed perfect. I did not see any sign of channeling either on my counter anywhere on the machine or on the video. So I don't know if you guys noticed anything, but I didn't see anything. It looked flawless. And it was a lighter roast, which usually, from my understanding, you're a lot more likely to get channeling from. So being that I used the Pasado tools, I wonder if Pasado had anything to do with it. Pasado! That's a win for Pasado. Okay. All right, so yeah, that was, I wanted to show you guys that because, you know, that was a pretty nice shot. Of course, it doesn't have all the nice colors and all the crema that you get from the darker roast. But, you know, what are you going to do? It is what it is. And it was tasty. Oh, that was a great coffee for straight shots. I loved it. So then back to the subject of the temperature, of controlling temperature, right? So Verterm told me that, yeah, 95 is probably well suited for what you've been brewing up to this point, but maybe you should touch on adjusting temperatures for when you're making like darker roast coffees. And I was like, man, you read my mind, because that's exactly what I just finished recording and going through. So because I came from the Breville and I didn't have all that control, and I never even worried about it, I just brewed at the set temperature. So, but now on the Bianca, I see that this is something that we're gonna have to be adjusting now and then. We're gonna be a lot more likely to have to play with temperature. Once I was able to lower the temperature for the darker roast, and you know, you saw me also play with that brew temperature offset again with the lighter roast, and it kind of, you know, it gives you another variable that we can control and we can play with, and it's kind of fun. So today, being that these are medium roast, I think maybe I'll brew them like at, I don't know, let's try like 90. Now we're always going to be thinking about temperature. Where should we be at? Where do you guys usually set your machine for like medium roast, for light roast, for dark roast? So maybe, you know, like I said, I used to just brew it always at the set temperature from factory on the Breville. And now I'm noticing that, yeah, for the lighter roast coffees, I think 95 is perfectly fine. I've been getting one tasty shot after the next, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. But maybe when something's a little bit more developed, we're gonna have to lower the temperature a little bit. First, I'm gonna open it. This is the Kona one. I'm gonna open it. We'll go to the other counter, take a look at the roast level, and then we'll see what we do after that, because I don't know. I haven't opened any of these bags. Let's go to the other counter, open the bag, check the roast level, and see where we're gonna set the machine at. I think it's still set at 87 where we were brewing last time. And I gotta check my temperature offset, because my brew temperature offset, because that might still be plus 10. So I'll take a look at all of that, and then we'll do a pour over, and I'll have the machine set for espresso. So I'm gonna start with the pour over, and then let the machine get either up or down to temperature depending on what the roast level is, and while we enjoy the pour over, and then by the time we make the espresso, everything should be in the ballpark figure that we set the machine at. So let's go to the other counter. All right, so Big Island Coffee Roasters. So I think the tasting notes are right in the front there. So, I'm doing my best not to read them. We're gonna guess at them like we usually do. So let's get this thing open. First thing we gotta do is take a look at the roast level. This feels like it's kind of like vacuum sealed. It's usually bags have a little bit more air in them than this one. This one, it's like really nicely packaged, but I don't think it's one of those that has the nice Ziploc. The material feels like very high end, like something that'll keep your coffee nice and fresh. But I think we're gonna have to cut it open, and then it doesn't have the little strip to reseal it. So I don't know, we'll see. Let's get this open. We're gonna have to cut this one open. See, I don't wanna cut this because I think this is where the tasting notes are. All right. Okay, so as soon as I open the bag, oh, the smell. Oh man, this is quite light. I mean, I don't even need to take it out of the bag. This is probably less than medium. I didn't see on the bag, and I don't want to read too much because I don't want to see the tasting notes. So, but let's bring some out so I can show you guys. All right, let's take a look at that. All right, hopefully that's focused there and we can see it. But yeah, this coffee is a lot lighter than what I was expecting. So you know what? I'm gonna put the machine back at 95, and I'm gonna shoot today to try to do one of the Slayer shots, maybe somewhere around, I don't know, 30-second pre-infusion, 30-second shot time, my usual standard for this kind of roast, and it's been working so well. I'm enjoying it, so why not, Of course, I don't know where to grind this coffee at, so we're gonna have to experiment with that as well. But usually on the Bianca with these lighter roasts, I mean, it's been perfect right from maybe let's not call it perfect, but it's been extremely tasty, okay, right from the very first shot. I have not had to throw anything away. The Bianca just gives you one lovely shot after the next. Okay, so let's start by making sure the machine is set properly, and we are at 95, so I'm not gonna touch that. That's where we've been for the lighter roast coffees. And let's look at the brew temperature offset. And we'll start. Okay, brew temperature offset, it's at 0, so I must have reset everything back the last time I used it. So we're set for this coffee, so I'm not gonna touch anything. Everything's gonna get up to temperature. We're gonna be good to go. So let's grind 20 grams and do a pour over. All right, so of course, I have no idea where to grind it at for my pour over either. So we're gonna grind it at 65 clicks. It's just a setting that usually works. So I'm gonna start my first brew on the origami. We're gonna go with 65 clicks, my usual 3-pour kind of technique that I always use, right? We do 100 grams kind of bloom, and then followed by another 100 grams, and then the final 100 grams. After my second 100 grams, I always do some agitation, whether it be the wet WDT or maybe just swirling it. And then we shoot for something between 3.5 to 4 minutes is usually where I like to be at with the origami. Water temperature, let's see. All right, I did have my kettle on, but it timed out and it went to sleep or something. So it's heating back up. So water temperature, let's do 98. So really close to boiling. I think being that we're gonna use the origami and we're gonna get kind of like a fast brew, 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes. I kind of want to have the water really hot because this roast is quite lighter than what I was expecting. So let's weigh out 20 grams. I'm gonna go with 20 grams in and 300 grams out. I believe that's a 1 to 15. And let's see how that goes. Let's start with that, and then if I have to dial in further from there, then next time I make my notes and next time I adjust. All right, so 65 clicks on the K Plus. You know, this grinder, the Espresso K Plus, wow, this thing has just been, it's been lovely. It's been bulletproof. I love it. I absolutely love it. Same as the niche. I think I chose wisely when it came to grinders. Of course, not everyone's gonna have the same opinions, but I have really, really enjoyed them. I don't regret either choice, not one bit. Okay, so we're at 7.5 grams. We're gonna go to 20. So I was careful to cover up the label, so I really don't wanna take a peek at those tasty notes. I have noticed that, you know, my palate has developed. Little by little, I kind of, you know, have gotten better at tasting the coffee and picking out the little tasting notes. So I'm just gonna put this thing looking backwards. Obviously, leaving it in the bag like this is a no-go. That's not even sealed. So I'll see. Maybe I'll put it in one of my little fellow Atmos containers. Perhaps that's what I'm gonna have to do. So okay, so we have 20.1. So let's grind it, see if we get any retention. You guys know that now we check retention even on the hand grinder. Because after that Turkish coffee, man, it's never been the same. All right. Yeah, you know, the grinder hasn't been the same, neither have I. Neither have I. I've been thinking about that Turkish coffee ever since we did it. We'll revisit that. That was a lot of fun. We'll revisit that video once again. It looks okay. The coffee looks really, really light, but you know, it's grinding very easy. So I'm thinking it's closer to medium than what I'm maybe thinking. But I don't know. It's not too hard to grind. So. Okay, so 20 grams at 65 clicks, that's probably about 30 seconds grinding. That's usually what it takes. 30 seconds, and that was quite easy to grind. I always check really well, make sure everything went through. Then I like to tap it like this a couple of times, and I check again. So, okay, it looks like everything went through. So let's see, we had 20.1. Exactly, 20.1. So exactly what we put in, exactly what we got out. I think you can see it in that angle, but hey, some of you guys might not believe me. So let me see. Okay, that should be focused there. So you see it, 20.1. Here's the coffee, what it looks like after we ground it. I'm pretty sure you could see that in there. Smells great. Can't wait to try that. Okay, as usual, when I do these pour overs, I have to kind of back up a little bit so that you guys can see everything that I'm doing. First things first, I'm gonna declump a little bit, just using the long needles. You know, I think from now on, I'm just gonna go ahead and use both. Why not? I got both, I'm gonna use both so I can still do my declumping in here. All right, so we started with that. Next, I have a filter right here. We're gonna have to rinse. Fold our filter. Yeah, we haven't done a pour over in a little bit. I see I'm gonna have to readjust the camera somehow so you guys could see the top of this thing. Okay, so let me readjust. All right, so hopefully this is gonna work a little bit better. Let's start by rinsing the filter and getting everything warmed up. Okay, I always give it a nice good rinse, and then I use the water in the carafe, put it in the glass so I can start heating my glass. Swirl it in there, get everything nice and hot. Okay, and now the water's gonna start heating up the glass. And you would think I would have this routine. You know, we haven't done pour over in a little while, guys. You know? All right, so we're at 0. Let's get the coffee in there. Okay, so we're done with the grinder. Okay, so my grounds are nice and fluffy already because I kind of did my WDT in the little cup. So now I take like a chopstick and kind of flatten things out, and I make a divot in the middle. And this is where I start pouring from. For some of you guys that are new to the channel, I'll show you in a second what that looks like. Okay, so you can see what the bed looks like right there. That's the divot that I kind of create with the chopstick. So yeah, that's what the setup is looking like from this angle. There you go. Like I always tell you guys, you know, making coffee in the morning is just therapeutic. You know, it kind of lets you meditate and think about things, and you can, you know, if I wasn't recording, then I would probably have a video in the background. Somebody like Hoon, and I'll just be listening to him doing the same thing that I'm enjoying. So I'm pretty sure it's kind of like what you guys do sometimes. So there it is. I mean, at least I hope you guys are joining me here with something tasty of your own. All right, let's do our first pour. Okay, so let's tear the scale. Start the time. Man, that coffee smells wonderful. Let's do our first pour. Okay, so we're going for 100 grams. I know people usually bloom with a lot less than that. You know, I think a lot of people do like, I think it's 3 times the weight of whatever, so it would have been like 60 grams for the bloom, but I just keep it like this because it's nice and simple and easy to remember, right? 3 pours of 100 grams. And it works. So, oh, another thing I forgot to mention, you know, these coffees are roasted when you order them, like a lot of the, you know, specialty coffee roasters. And this coffee is only 7 days off roast, so a week. So it's probably not even at its best. I probably have to wait like another week for this thing to develop, but I couldn't wait. So we're gonna see, we're gonna find out what's going on with this thing. Okay, so our first pour is done. Let's go with the second pour. Just wash the sides. Make some swirls. Okay, we're at 200. Actually 208. And now I do some agitation. Today I'm just gonna swirl it. Give it a nice swirl because actually our coffee is kind of brewing kind of fast. We're not even at 2 minutes and we're almost done with the second pour. So next time, depending on what the taste is like, you know, maybe it's perfect. But depending on the taste, maybe next time either I do more agitation or perhaps I grind a little bit finer to slow it down. But it just depends what happens here. So we don't have a starting point yet. And you see, I did some agitation and it slowed down quite a bit. So maybe we'll finish at 4 minutes. We'll see. A lot of nice aroma with this coffee. You know, part of the enjoyment of this hobby is definitely when you grind the coffee and the smells, and like I said, it's just relaxing and therapeutic. All right, let's do our third pour. It's done with the second. I don't really like this angle for you guys too. I wish I had a better way of doing this. You can't even see the top of this thing. Okay, we finished at 301.2 grams, so that's close enough. We can turn off the kettle. And this is our final drawdown. We're at 319. I think we might even go over 4 minutes. So again, then if that happens and you want to speed it up, next time you grind coarser. I only did agitation once, so I'm gonna give it one more little swirl. Flatten out the bed. It's almost drained through. We're still not at 4 minutes. So it looks like I'm gonna get it pretty much spot on with the 65 clicks. Okay, it's almost done. We're a little bit over 4 minutes. So next time, maybe, well, depending on flavor, let's see what happens with the flavor. I can see the top of the bed. It's pretty much done. So just under 4.5 minutes. Let's call that at 4:25, almost 4.5 minutes. So we'll taste it and see. I'm gonna show you guys the top of the bed so you can see how it finished. Okay, here you guys see it. It looks nice and flat. It's not muddy at all. This looks kind of perfect. I mean, we'll see depending on flavor if we're gonna try to brew it a little bit faster or slower, or maybe just keep it like this. All right, let's swirl it and serve some of this wonderful Kona coffee. Cheers, I hope you guys are having something tasty here with me. Not a lot of aroma right from the get-go, we'll see. When I opened that bag though, that was pretty wonderful. Man, it blew me away. Let's give it the first taste. Okay, it's a bit hot. I'm gonna have to let it cool down. First impressions, mild acidity, sweet, but I'm gonna have to let it cool down a little bit. Aroma, again, I'm not getting a whole lot. You know, I'm glad you guys have been enjoying these videos. It keeps me kind of encouraged to keep making these videos. The engagement between us is what really makes it fun for me. Okay, I'm feeling a tiny little bit more acidity than I did on the cow. but not quite this. All right, it's building as it's cooling. We're gonna have to keep waiting. Still, as far as tasting notes, I can't guess yet. Let's keep tasting it and keep trying it, and we'll see. Definitely, it does have a little bit of like that little berry tartness, a little bit of berries, maybe, definitely some sweetness. It's at the sugar note, I'm pretty good at that one. Wow, there's definitely a sweetness. It's not as punchy, like to say, it's like definitely like that, that brown sugar kind of. I don't think it's quite that much. Wow. I don't know, if I had to guess, a fruity coffee, sweet, maybe a tiny little bit of tartness, but like berries kind of. Definitely not citrusy. If I see something here that says like orange or something like that, it'll, I doubt it. As far as the way I brewed it, I don't think I really have to change anything. It has a lot of flavor. It has nice body. It has the sweetness that I like. It has a tiny little acidity, I'd say mild acidity. It's not quite as edgy, okay? This is a washed coffee, by the way, all three of them. All three of them are just washed coffees, very clean. It doesn't have those kind of like really crazy edgy feels like those fermented coffees, like what I was getting from the Costa Rica. That really, wow, I really love that. The depth of flavor that created. I don't know if it had to do with that technical fermentation, but that the depth of flavor and the peakiness, like you got that, pretty sharp hit of acidity in the beginning, but then you get all these other flavors. It gets really, really sweet, and then you get that really nice sweet finish. Really kind of stretch out the flavors. This is a lot more typical washed. All right, very tasty. So as far as tasting notes, the most I can say is that berries and sweet. We'll see. Maybe I'm totally off. Let me put my glasses on. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I'm always scared when I do this. All right, guys, don't laugh at me if I'm totally off. All right, here we go. Toffee. Okay, toffee. So that's kind of like a caramel flavor, right? But there's different kinds of toffee, but okay, cacao nibs. All right, like a little chocolate, just like dark chocolate. Once it's suggested, but I wouldn't say that. We'll see from Espresso. Maybe Espresso will have that. Okay. Honey butter. Well, they got a lot of tasting notes. Okay, so we got toffee, we got cacao nibs, we got honey butter, we got apricot, sweet, smooth, balanced. The last three things is what I agree with the most. Sweet, smooth, and balanced. Honey butter, wow, and apricot. Man, I wonder how these guys do it. I'm not at that level. But you know what? What it says at the end, definitely. Sweet, smooth, and balanced. That's a good way of describing it. The little mild acidity, what can we attribute that to, if anything? Let's see. It does have a little tartness, a little like mild acidity. I don't think the toffee or the cacao nibs or the honey butter and apricot is just like a sweet fruit. I don't think the apricot either. So I was pretty off on this one, guys. So sweet, smooth, and balanced. I'm gonna definitely agree with that. All I know is it's pretty wonderful. I don't want this video to get like extremely long, so I'm gonna finish enjoying this pour over here, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'll meet you guys at the other counter and we'll weigh out our 18 grams and grind on the niche. I wonder where we should be at on the niche. Again, with the Bianca, we just always make it work. You know, let's try at 12. Let's try at 12. And I think I'm gonna shoot for more like, yeah, 25 seconds. Maybe I'm gonna shorten it a little bit. Maybe 25 second of pre-infusion and then 25 second shot time. Maybe get like a 50 second, 45 to 50 second shot. I think that's what I wanna try. So, and the temperature, I think I'm gonna leave at 95. So, all right, let me finish this and I'll meet you guys at the other counter. Okay, so I'm having my last couple sips of coffee. I'm gonna say that next time, I took some notes. I'm gonna say that next time, I'm gonna try to speed it up just a little bit. I'm gonna grind it at 70 clicks, so on 7 on the K+. And the water temperature, I'm gonna bring down slightly. I'm gonna try to brew it at 96 as far as the temperature and see what that does. Today is perfectly fine, but I'm gonna try to get a little bit more out of it. And as it cooled, now I can, you know, I know it's been suggested to me, but but you know what? Maybe the apricot, I'm gonna give it that. I'm gonna give it the apricot, and definitely what it said at the bottom, the sweet, smooth, and balanced, I'm gonna also give it that for sure. That's what I would have described it as. And I'm gonna give it the apricot for sure. Of course, I'm not gonna count that one because I know that you know, I got it after it was suggested. I don't count those. All right, so let's start weighing out our 18 grams as I have my last couple little sips of coffee here, which I really enjoyed. Okay, so I thought about it a little bit. I think I'm gonna grind it. I don't know what I said previously, but I think I'm gonna grind it at 12 on the niche. It's just a good starting number for us to work with. Of course, we're gonna check retention as we always do. So let me make sure the niche is at 12. Okay, so we're at 12. Start the scale. We're gonna weigh out our 18 grams. I wonder if I opened this wrong, because now that I see, you know, maybe I can fold it over and use the strip to seal it. I don't know. I'll worry about that once I'm done with the video, how I'm gonna store this one. Because the bag is like really nice quality, you know, but I don't know, we'll see. You know, these beans are kind of big. Let's see, okay, we're at 18 grams. 18 grams, between 18 and 18.1. It's kind of fluctuating there. Let's see what we get from the niche today. You know, something else I wanted to report on. You know, if you guys remember the coffees from the Bay Area, I have to say that the Acme coffee as well as the Red Bay coffee, they kind of lasted me kind of a while. And, you know, I'm gonna say this, that sometimes people get too like overly concerned with using their coffee like really fast. And, you know, I'm gonna say that as far as those two coffees, the Acme coffee and the one from Red Bay, I think one of my most delicious brews with both of those coffees was towards the end. The last couple of brews, of course, by then it's like super dialed in. I've tweaked it as much as I wanted to and got it to right where I wanted it. So yeah, maybe that has something to do with it as well. But I do have to say, Some of the best brews I made with both of those, the Acme and the Red Bay, were my very last couple of times that I brewed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So, and then I thought about it, you know, when I was having those cups of coffee, and I thought about it, I'm gonna report back to the guys because I think it's a little bit overrated as far as like, you know, start your coffee like 2 weeks into it and make sure you're done after like a month and that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot more flexibility and not all of them are the same. And, you know, I think you don't have to really finish your coffee that quickly. You know, a couple of months in the bag, and it's still fine. It tastes, if you're grinding your coffee fresh, you're gonna be perfectly okay. So, all right, so we're between 18 and 18.1. Let's see what we get from the niche. Oh man, something, okay. Man, I forgot something. This weekend I cleaned it out. I haven't used it since I cleaned it. Okay, the niche is spotless inside, spotless. We're gonna have at least I would guess at least minimum a half a gram of retention. So it's gonna happen today, guys. It's gonna happen. It's completely spotless inside. But now I'm really curious to see how much, but I'm guessing half a gram minimum from 0.5 to 0.8 retention. Let's see. I'm gonna leave this clip like, you know, I'm not gonna stop the clip. The clip is just gonna keep running so you guys can see the whole process. But look, my niche is spotless. Okay, my niche is spotless, guys. All right, so we're grinding on 12. 18 grams. Oh, those beans are fighting. They're fighters. I think they're all through now. Man, we're gonna have a lot of retention. All right, let's see. All right, what is that, a 0.7? Either 0.7, 0.8, something like that we had. So, yeah, kind of like what I thought, what I was expecting. So, we're gonna have to grind a few more beans. And then I'll adjust it with a spoon or something like I always do. I'll have to set the camera down here. Come on, Pasado. I figure I had to throw that in. Oh man. You know, I'm still looking for some kind of tamping station. I want to get that. All right, let's try 7 beans. 7 beans. Let's see what 7 beans do. I'm not gonna use the bellows because what's the point? I mean, I'm just gonna let it build up a little bit of dust in there, you know? All right, let's see. Okay, we're over. I'll use the spoon, adjust it back to 18, and then we'll brew. Come on, Pasado! I'm never gonna let that one go. You know, this is part of the reason why the videos are kind of fun to make and to see you guys' reaction and the interaction between us. It's just, it makes it a little bit more fun in a way, but it is work. You know, you have to edit the videos. Like the recording part, I keep saying the recording part really doesn't, matter to me at all. I'll record the videos, no problem. But the editing, it is a pain in the neck. You know, I'm happy to see that this is a lot lighter of a roast than I was expecting. Okay, let's adjust this thing. Okay, so we are 18.5, so we got to get a half a gram out of here. Not quite. A little bit more. All right, right at 18. Well, again, between 18 and 18.1, so that's perfect. That's where we started. Okay, let's do some puck prep. So yeah, you know, I'm happy to report that on the last video, you know, wow, like really, for being a lighter roast coffee, I think I pulled a pretty nice shot, guys. My puck prep hasn't been that bad, I gotta say. Okay, first we do a little declumping in here. I'm gonna use my big, thick needles that a lot of people don't seem to like, so people like those thin needles. So, but now I have both, so I'm gonna use both. Get my little rag. You know, I was scared of the bottomless portafilter. If you guys, if you guys saw my live with Hoon, I even mentioned it to him. But you know, by the time I was talking with Hoon, okay, that day, I already had filmed the video with the bottomless portafilter. Okay, I had already received the Pasado tools. I just didn't want to show them until that video hit. All right, sorry about that, guys, but my alarm was going off in the background. And not my waking up alarm, that went off hours ago. Okay, but I did have a reminder there for something that I gotta do. All right, so let's get back to the puck prep. You know, I feel a lot more lively now after that first coffee. Okay. So again, I really hate the fact that I don't have the tamping station, but you know, for now it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. What are we gonna do? Let's see what kind of a job I do today with this thing. Although we ground kind of fine, and obviously when we're grinding finer, it's a lot easier to get the coffee in here and it kind of ends up looking kind of okay. All right, let's see what kind of surprise we get today. No, not bad, not bad. I'll take it. Man, I got a little bit of dust here in the cup. All right. Come on, Pasado. All right, here we go. Today we're gonna, you know, I do have to say that it is kind of easier to do the WDT once it's in here in the portafilter with the thin needles. It just glides better, you know. Obviously, there's less resistance from the thinner needles. You guys saw the last shot had like no channeling whatsoever. Oh, you know, I don't know. By now, maybe we've had a conversation. This is so weird. Every time I gotta do this. But by now, maybe we've had a conversation below in the comments as to my channeling through the edge between the filter basket and you know, and the coffee puck. And that's where the channeling seems to be happening, right from the edge. And I have a theory. I mean, I don't know what you guys have to say about that because I haven't read it yet, but this is so weird, I'm telling you, because of this delay. But yeah, you know, I'm thinking that what happens is that when I tamp, the little gap between the tamper and the edge of the portafilter basket, that doesn't get tamped quite the same. So then what happens is that, you know, that the coffee there is a little bit looser and a little bit easier for the water to get through, and that's why the channeling happens right there on the edge. So that's my theory. I don't know, maybe by now we already commented below and I have a different theory. I don't know, but as I'm filming this, okay, that's my theory. That's what I'm going with. Okay, now again, Pasado, look, I have to put them back to rest in here like a little bed, just sleeping in there. Not cool, man, come on. Make me a nice little holder for that. Okay. You know, on the last video, I tamped with the Pasado you know, tamper. Maybe the fact that I had to adjust so much and move it, like press it down, maybe kind of even things out a little bit, and maybe it worked on my favor. Who knows? But wow, that's completely something unexpected, because you would think if you tamp, you know, perfectly right from the get-go, it's gonna be a lot better than moving this thing around. But who knows? I don't know. Something to keep an eye on. All right, here we go. Wow, that's way in there. Okay, it's nice and even. Little polish. Okay, nice puck prep. That is way in there. So hopefully it's not too fine and the machine chokes. I would do my little upside down test, but I'm not about to do that today. Let's get the puck screen. Again, just to keep things tidy, lock in. All right, we're locked and loaded. Let me bring you guys in closer and set up all the different camera angles and all that stuff we got going on. You know, I do like looking back at the footage though, after I pull the shots and see if I had the channeling and see if I can spot it. The only couple times that, you know, I haven't pulled that many shots doing this and being able to look, but I have to say, like, the channeling that we have gotten up until now has been very minimal, and it's happened like super fast. It's like less than a second, you know, so it's very hard to spot unless you're like looking at this video like in, you know, frame by frame a couple times, and then you see it. All right, so here we go. Okay, so we got all the cameras running. I hope I got everything set up properly here. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get the scale up here. Now today we're going back to our little time more scale. We'll see how it performs today. But I already called it. You know, the Akaya, let's face it, it works better. We'll see what we get today. Again, you guys know that I love using the automatic espresso mode, so that's where I always leave it set at. Same as the Akaya. I really enjoy watching that, and you know, not to worry about the scale once I start the process. So now that I can keep track of my time from first drip and keep my time also from when I first start the shot, I think there's something to gain by having both pieces of data. So, you know, I've explained it before, but there's a few new people here on the channel. That's the reason why I do it this way. I really like having both pieces of data, and it's just something interesting to look at. Okay, so we start with the paddle at 5 o'clock. Let's get the cup up there. Okay, so, all right, so let's start the shot. Again, we're shooting for 25-second pre-infusion. Once it starts to build pressure, I'll try to level it off at around 2.5 bar. Okay, right there we're around 2.5 bar. At 25 seconds, I'm gonna ramp up. Okay, here we go. Let's try to take it to 9 bars. Okay, right there we're at 9 bars. We're gonna shoot for 45 grams out, and hopefully from first drip, so this timer, hopefully it'll read something around, you know, 35 seconds. I was talking and I let the pressure drop again. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna have to grind a bit coarser, no doubt about that. This is gonna be way long of a shot, but in my experience so far, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna like it. Maybe it's gonna be perfectly tasty to me, as long as it doesn't get bitter. If it gets bitter, then next time I know what to do. As far as the colors in the cup, wow, it looks awesome. Obviously this coffee is very, very fresh, so. Okay, so we got our 45 grams. It took a whole minute from first drip, 1.5 minutes. Yes, guys, I know this is ridiculous kind of timing. I gotta speed it up quite a bit. So I'm grinding at 12 today. Maybe next time I go all the way to 15 and see what happens, or 14, at least 14. And, you know, obviously I need to speed it up. But now, if the flavor is good, it's good. And, you know, if it's not, I'm gonna let you guys know the truth, what I think. I'll tell you, hey, it's not good, it's bitter. So, but if it's not bitter, it's still sweet. And it's gonna be perfectly okay with me. Now that doesn't mean it can't get better, so I know that for sure I have to speed it up. But let's get to the other counter, taste it. Now as far as, wow, it looks wonderful in the, this is one of the prettiest shots in the cup that you guys just don't have the right angle. Let me show you guys. Okay, I wonder if the phone is gonna do it justice. Now it doesn't have a whole bunch of crema on the top, but what I really like is the color on top. I mean, it just looks awesome. I hope you guys could see that well, but I really love the way this shot looks from the top. Like maybe this is what they call the tiger striping. I'm not sure, but I don't know, it looks beautiful. Being a light roast, this is like the nicest looking light roast coffee that I've seen. I wonder what the extraction looked like. And you know what? As far as my counter, you guys could see there's not a spot anywhere. So there's nothing on the scale. And by the way, the time word didn't let us down, worked perfectly. Ever since I got the Akaya, it never glitched again, so we'll see. But as you guys could see, there's not a spot anywhere. So I'm not expecting to see any channeling when I look at the video back, but we'll see. I'll report back next week. So let's get to the other counter and taste it. All right, so let's see what we get from the espresso. You guys know these little crew cups, the little shot glasses, they have like some little winglets inside that you can use to stir your coffee. You just swirl it and it kind of stirs the coffee for you. Cheers. You know, there's more aroma as espresso for sure, and it smells great in this kitchen right now. I gotta tell you, man, it is awesome. There's a little bitterness, but acceptable. There's an acceptable level of bitterness to me. It's not bitter, but definitely, you know, I gotta speed it up, okay? Wow, the aroma is definitely a lot better as espresso. I mean the aroma, the taste, you know, maybe once I get rid of the little bit of bitterness, maybe so, I don't know. I'll report back. Well, it's punchier, more flavor. You know, it still has acidity. It's not like, definitely didn't kill the acidity. The acidity is there. There's a little bit of acidity, a little bit of bitterness. You know, once we speed it up, we'll see. You know, I'm gonna say this. As espresso, it's more interesting. It's just, there's more to it. You know, I don't care if brewed for like 2 minutes. It's still, it's more interesting as espresso, and it's not like bitter where you're like, wow, this is way too bitter. That's happened to me before, but this is not it. This is still, to me, is extremely acceptable. You know, if I went anywhere they gave me this shot of espresso, I would be super thrilled with. It's not perfect, so next time for sure, maybe at 4, you know what, I'm not gonna go all the way to 15. Next time, 14, and we'll try again for like the 25-second pre-infusion and 25-second maybe. You know, I think 25 seconds as far as the shot time is gonna be too short. Now that I'm tasting it, maybe I need to be somewhere more like around 35 to 40 seconds. I have enough here to try a few more times, so I'll report back. For now, I gotta say, this is perfectly fine with me. Definitely a lot more to it as espresso. A lot of flavor. Well, my first experience with Kona, other than at Disney property and over there, I didn't really have control of it. I do have to say that the filtered coffee that the girls served me at the Kona Island, it was really good. It was delicious. The one in the, and I said it already, the one in the French press was, I think the ratio was off. It was like too weak. It didn't have enough flavor, let's just say. This one is 100% Kona. You know, obviously, wow, with this espresso, I'm getting a ton of flavor. So this coffee is definitely capable of a lot of flavor. So you just gotta, you gotta find what's right for you, okay? So I think right now it's a bit over extracted. It's a bit too punchy. It has a little bit of bitterness, more than I am willing to accept, being that I can so easily control it. So I think I'm not gonna mess with the temperature or the brew temperature offset or none of that. I'm gonna try to brew it same temperature, just speed it up. I'll shoot for like 25-second pre-infusion and then maybe like around 45 seconds of my shot time. Yeah, very flavorful. Sad to see you go, buddy, but this is it. Well, I enjoyed it as espresso more. Although you guys saw that it was a 2-minute shot, okay? So it just, I don't know, man. I like the punchiness. I like a lot of flavor. That's part of the reason why like Costa Rica worked so well for me. It was very punchy coffee, a lot of flavor, a lot of depth of flavor, a lot going on. I enjoy that, Not to say that I can't enjoy a very tea-like, very gentle flavor coffee like the geishas that I had. I enjoy that as well. But this is a little bit more thrilling. I'm fully caffeinated now. I hope I kept you guys company here for a little while. I'm pretty sure this video is gonna end up being a marathon again, probably an hour long at least. So anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised with how light this coffee was roasted. I really, I wasn't expecting it, and being that this is what I like for, straight shots and for my pour overs, filtered coffee that I make every single morning. So I gotta always have a lot more like light roast than like darker roast. And the ones from Good Brothers, I still have, for quite a few more shots. Whenever I make a milk-based drink, that's what I go to. I have a little tiny bit of the Lavazza left. Like I reported back to you guys, I really got into it on the mocha pot. As a matter of fact, yesterday I made some in the mocha pot and I just, mixed it with a little bit of milk, made kind of like a cortado. And, to me it was awesome. I really have enjoyed that. It's not a very thrilling coffee like I just got from this. It's more traditional kind of taste. You'll get some of that. It does have a little slight acidity to the coffee because I have to say that although it is, medium to dark, it's still kind of close to medium. So you do get a little bit of that acidity. That coffee is not roasted very dark at all. And you guys, I reviewed it and you guys saw it here on the channel. Okay, it's the Lavazza Rosa. I made, I think, 2-3 videos as to that coffee. So anyway, I enjoyed this thoroughly. I enjoyed my time here with you guys today. Again, guys, the engagement is really what makes it worth it. Leave me a message. Let's talk about it. I learned from you guys just as much as some of you guys learned from me. I know some of you guys are experts and you got nothing to learn from me. Maybe a little entertainment here and there, a laugh, something like that. But at least I'm here once a week to keep you guys company. Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. That's when the videos go live. And I've been consistent now for months. Moving forward, this is nothing but like a coffee channel. So if I ever create another channel for my creative outlet to do other things, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I don't have a lot of time. these coffee videos are taking up most of my free time. So, you know, actually filming them takes no time because I would be doing this regardless, right? So maybe not with all the chit chatting, so it takes a little bit longer, but not a big deal. But the editing does take, you know, I have to spend a couple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, you know, editing these videos, especially when they're an hour long. So, but hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. You know, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It'd really be helping me out. We're really trying to reach the 1,000 subscribers if that ever happens, but at least we'll be able to go live. And if it does happen, I promise you guys, we're gonna celebrate with a live video. I'll let everyone know that we're gonna go live, and you guys will have plenty of time to make plans and join me on our little brewing session if we ever are able to go live. So, but on that day, we'll do like a little pour over and just mainly chit chat and talk back and forth. So that'll be kind of fun. So, but anyway, thank you for spending the time here with me. I appreciate you guys, each and every single one of you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the kind words. Some of the new subscribers, I already said it for term, and I mentioned new Forest Explorer. You guys saw the little my little blooper there at the end of last video, but that was me trying to like look for my phone. Like I was like, man, I think that was the name, but where's my phone? I just left that in there. All right, so anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed your time here with me today, and I'll see you guys next week.